Why are you being overlooked? You are doing everything right, aren't you? Did you say just one more time, yes, even though you meant no? And you felt it right away afterwards. It's like you have thrown yourself under the bus, and that's not a nice feeling. And the reason why you feel that way is because you are just disconnecting again once more from your true self. Hello, I am Marianne Böhm from the 618 Autonomy Alchemy Academy, where we guide you into a self-determined life in freedom. And so many other strong women like you are doing just the same, saying yes when they meant no. They're not doing it because they are weak or anything like that. They're doing it because they had to learn it at a very early stage of your lives. It is a survival pattern. But today, it is not anymore about just survival, right? Today, it's about you showing up as the human being, as the woman you truly are, to bring into the world what you came here for, isn't it? Today, it is therefore about becoming loyal only to yourself first and not to others. It's about showing up, being truly with yourself and not against yourself anymore. Today, in this video, let's have a look deeper into the effects, into the impact of these little moments you have when you tend to say yes instead of no when you want to say no, onto your progress to create a free, successful life, and how this blocks you from that very progress. So why is this happening? This is about that you have created the survival pattern very early because of traumatic childhood. That happens because of many incidents in your environment with your parents, your family, your siblings, etc., etc. You were not safe, basically. Let's say you were not safe, because this is the underlying truth after all. Saying yes, although you wanted to say no, actually, you wanted to speak up, you wanted to feel free as a child, there you experienced punishment for. If that had happened to you, then you developed this survival pattern, because maybe you have experienced that you were punished for saying something, for being yourself, for playing too loud, or whatever you're doing your own way, and you were punished, you were screamed at, or somebody took away your toys or locked you up or anything like that, or you were being ignored for just being free as a baby or a child. That's another punishment, a harsh one. Or you're being shamed, maybe from a sibling. Maybe you were in a situation where you were about to do your own way and be your own way, and the sibling already knew you would be that way and shamed you for that once you have started to be that way, because that sibling would be one of the sheep in the family and always saying yes. So he would shame you because you were different. You're doing your own way. So this is where the shame is coming from. Just an example. It might have been somebody else for you. Or, and after all, probably after all these incidents, you have been excluded from the family. So you were excluded, you were alone, you were left behind, and that causes fear. This is fear of rejection. This is where it's coming from. When you were being rejected, when you are not being part of the family anymore. And why is this so important to understand? Because you have to just have a look on the age you were in when this happened. When a young child, a baby, or a really young toddler, is being rejected and excluded, it's life-threatening. This baby is so threatened in life because it feels, oh my God, where's my mom? Mom is everything, right? Mom is abundance, which means mom is food, mom is drinking, mom is sleeping, mom is safety, mom is protection, is love. Mostly, of course, it's warmth and everything. When the baby is excluded and rejected, this all is gone. the life ultimately is threatened of this young human being. And that is why these patterns just burned into your system. Your nervous system is firing alert all the time when these things were happening. That's why these patterns are active until your adulthood, until now. Maybe not in whole intensity, maybe not entirely, maybe just in parts, but some parts of them are still active in you and are leading you in the wrong direction or blocking you from the right direction, etc., etc. This sensation of I lose mom is the same as I lose my life. That's why they're so strong in our bodies. So what's happened next is, or in a later age, in childhood still, you lose your self-worth, or let's say there is no self-worth growing within you. It's not possible. When you're always being limited, punished, you felt wrong for who you are. You cannot develop a natural self-worth, among other things. You cannot just develop them. They are staying away. It's not there for you. You learn the no of others are more important than your own no. The opinion and directions of others are more relevant than your own. So you start to notice that you are fully dependent on others for long. Babies are anyway, but they also need space to develop themselves, right? Or children, let's say. So, but this little child learns in that situation, it has no say here. It always has to ask someone else. It always depends on someone else. There's no safety and security in that human being. So that means, or let's say this is the root of distrust of yourself. You cannot trust yourself because you have no experience from early life that you have successfully followed your own intuition or guidance so that you have a good experience from it. It was cut off. So that's missing in your system. So you have this deep distrust. You trust nobody. Actually, you don't trust yourself first, and you project it to others so that you feel, oh, you don't trust ABC person. But in reality, you cannot trust yourself. And this is dramatic. This is something you can correct, of course, but this is just to make you understand where this is coming from, how this affects your relationships, no matter what relationships. It's happening everywhere. You feel it everywhere. That means this distrust is surfacing and wants to be healed and dissolved. So that means when you cannot trust, you become a manipulative target for others. You just are a playing ball for others in that situation, and they can see and feel it. And that's why it's so important to have your own standing and be yourself, to get out of that loop. Because your insecurity, which is part of it, the restlessness, everything screams just for others to take advantage of you in all kinds of situations. So you appear as very emotionally unstable. And others see that, oh, that one is easy to handle, when you don't have any resistance. You would always look for the advice of others, and ultimately you run into people using you, misleading you, creating experiences you don't want to have. Because your own voice is judged as worthless. You cannot trust, you wouldn't even listen to this, you run into problems. Maybe it's not for everyone in the same intensity here. I'm just giving examples so you can see how much of this is true for you or was true and when, and how much of this maybe you have solved already. That's great, right? So let's see what happens in your body when you say yes, and actually you want to say no, because that's really important to notice, because this is where the life happens you're creating, right? Not in the mind. Knowledge is fine, but it's not creating the life you're experiencing. So what happens when you say yes and me no? You totally disconnect from yourself. It's an energy split. You cut off yourself from your true self. You disconnect parts of you, you throw parts away from you, but you can get them back. But in this moment, you are disconnecting. Also, you're sending out conflicting signals. So let's say you're sending out, going to do this and that, and you never do it. And when you're alone, you're just doing the opposite, and you think about others, oh, leave me alone, whatever they think, I don't care, right? So it's a total opposite of what you said. And this is something they notice as well. This is a diffuse energy. You are hard to guess who you are, right? And this is your energy field is diffuse, and you cannot attract the experience you're looking for. Also, you have a loss of self-respect. You don't respect yourself. You feel bad about yourself. You don't even want to look maybe onto yourself or in the mirror, or you don't want to realize, you don't want to reflect what's happening with you. You don't want to be honest with yourself. You just disappoint yourself over and over again, and that's not a good feeling. Maybe you have these feelings of, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to do that, or leave me alone, I'm just going to bed, I want to read a book or whatever. So you're running away, distracting. You want to be with yourself because you're not doing well. You have disappointed yourself. Also, you blocked yourself from your truth. You have no access to your inner truth. It's like living in a fog, in a big wall of fog. There is no intuition to access, really. There is no visions, really, you know about. You're not even clear where you want to head with your life. It's all unclear. You don't know it. Impulses are not there, or are different, or are less intense, or interrupted. It all goes numb within you. So you lose basically touch with what you truly want. You're unclear about, you can't feel it, you can't see it, and you have really efforts to find it out. So that means you can drift in confusion all the time, and your appearance in that state of being, your appearance, like all over, it's unclear and weak. Although you are not weak, but you appear as weak because things are not on the spot, on the point. Things of your aspects of yourself are all over the place. What you need to do here, or where they have to be, is on one point. So bring them together, put them all together so that you gain momentum. That's the way out, by the way. So, but as long as you don't do it, you appear as weak, as silent, as hesitating, fearful. You don't feel secure at all to make changes because you're all over. It's all about fear for you, right? So, and in that situation, and you might have noticed that, you attract the wrong people that want to guide you, and they're just misleading you, for example. You attract maybe the wrong projects, or you're just looking for the wrong jobs, or you attract, when you are on your own, you attract the wrong clients, etc., or nobody shows up in your life, right? So it's just because your energy, which is all over the place, diffuse, is not readable from the universe. That's the explanation. It's easy. You give up your authority. And this is the feeling of everything on the point in you and feelable, who you are, not just for others, but for you. Have this feeling, this sensation of who you are, what that means to you. If that is not in place within you, you're giving up your authority. By adapting to others, you make yourself small. You hold yourself back from stepping into your true power just because you let it be diffuse all over the place and have others to tell it to you how it's supposed to be, for example. So that's the biggest sabotage, and you want to change this by taking the right step forward. You want to show up. You want to lead, you want to hold the space, you want to clarify your message and bring the message to the world. But you will sabotage all this when you just keep on being diffuse and not coming to your own point of your life. So when you override yourself, others override you. When you don't respect yourself, others won't respect you. When you don't believe yourself, others cannot believe yourself. Right? So that's as simple as that. The consequences for you, and that's a harsh word maybe, but it is self-betrayal. You betray yourself when you're not being yourself. When you say yes and me no, it appears in that moment as not a big deal, but it is a huge deal. It is energetically, physically, on all aspects, emotionally, psychologically, it's a big, big, big deal. You take away your own strength and you feel it. And the strength, the energy, the power for your own path in life is urgently needed. You cannot give this away. So you have to be clear with everything in your life. This constant distrust of your intuition and inner guidance is a big issue. When you don't follow your inner guidance, where is directions? Where is clarity? Where is a vision? Where is a goal you can achieve? Not possible. Also, you label yourself all the time as wrong. When you distrust yourself and your inner guidance, you tell yourself that story, I'm wrong. The way I am, I'm wrong. I'm not functioning. Everything is wrong with me. So I can't be a success. Something like this. So you can maybe feel that this is not a path forward where you will make progress. In this situation, you are basically in a state of being of this early child. You are acting as this small child that internalized that program in the very early age, as long as you haven't healed it. Once you start to heal that early wound, you start changing and you feel it immediately. You feel the relief immediately, and you feel immediately with things within you get on the point, get together. You become more and more one, and you gain momentum within you, within your body, within your way of thinking, feeling, and action. That's the magic. It's easy to do. You just need to get started. Instead of being in that younger part, which is still in fear, step out of it. That younger part needs you right now, because that younger part is in fear. The parents are away, so you are the parents now, stepping in and giving the little one what's needed. That's what's needed to do. You are the healer of the younger one, so that the young one can feel safe, heal, and relax. But when you keep saying yes, when you mean no, it's not happening. You keep obeying the old in fear living child. It's like pressing the gas. You're in a car, you press the gas, but you don't have any gear. So no effect. The energy just burns. You just burn yourself, let's say, even faster than you would when you're in a harmonic state of being. This would keep you small, blocks your progress, blocks you from abundance, blocks you from fulfillment, from power, from happiness, from joy, from everything, from freedom, the way you're really looking for, a life on your own terms. You block yourself from it by saying yes when you mean no. Without your new adult self, you remain irrelevant to yourself, because there is no relevant message you're giving out. You remain irrelevant to yourself as long as you're doing that. And therefore, you stay unsuccessful as well, and also unfree. There is always a solution. Of course, you can get out of this yourself. The solution is easy. Train your nose. Okay? First step, train your nose. Train to say no. Even though you feel, I want to say yes, I'm afraid to say no. So realize everything what comes up from you when you want to say yes again, even though you mean no, watch what's coming up and don't say yes again. Allow yourself the no. Allow yourself saying no in that very moment. And then watch how you feel. And hold the feeling. Stay in that very moment and hold the feeling of the no. And watch what you feel. Is it uncomfortable? Do you want to apologize for the no? What kind of reactions and reflexes do you have? Do you feel bad? Do you feel impolite? Do you feel egomaniac? Do you feel incompetent? Or outrageous or whatever comes up. And don't react on that. Just watch it. Watch and feel it through. Stay there. Don't run away from this. Don't distract yourself. Don't apologize for it. Just keep firm and stay and say no. You stay with that feeling as long as it takes in your body. And once you feel, okay, now it's fine. I'm relaxing. I don't want to run away anymore. It's okay. I'm not dead. I'm still here, let's say. You repeat the exercise so that you train your body. It's like working out. It's training your body and just doing it as often as necessary until you feel comfortable to say no, until it feels natural for you. Hey, it's my right to say no. Once you have done this, please share your experience under the video in the comments. It would be very great to know. And also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to go deeper in everything, subscribe to my Pathfinder emails. You find the link under the video. And I see you in the next video.